Well, Robin Rennie Sanders is the former US ambassador to Nigeria, joins me now from Washington, D.C. via Skype. Good to have you with us live on Al Jazeera, Ms. Sanders. Let's begin with negotiations, certainly with Boko Haram, seem to stall under the previous presidency. Muhammadu Buhari seems now to be, as you would say, using a twin-track approach, attacking and diminishing Boko Haram while still negotiating with what's left of the remaining group. A good tactic, an interesting tactic? What do you think?
I think both those things. It's been effective, clearly. I think that it's so important to get as many of the girls back as possible. And this second release of 80-plus girls is a positive sign. So clearly the government's approach has been the right one. They're moving forward on the ground, but they're also engaged in negotiations to secure the release of the additional girls.
What does this tell us about the group's strength, considering it's not just Nigeria's action on Boko Haram, but there has been a regional approach as well?
Yeah, the regional approach has been there for a while. I think that what you have now under the current government in Nigeria is really a better coordinated action with the neighbors. I think if you remember when President Buhari came into power, he did go and visit not only the multinational force, but certainly his counterparts. And I think that effort alone really required the leadership of Nigeria to step forward and really help coordinate the military task force. And I think that President Buhari has done all of those things. And I think you see the results of that on the ground.
How important has that international action as well as domestic pressure been on both the previous government and what Buhari had inherited? Because there was a great deal of pressure internally in Nigeria to get these girls back.
I think first I would like to give credit really to the Bring Back Our Girls movement. They have never let the issue die, and they have engaged with the government, they have engaged with international partners. So really their leadership along with the government has really been key in this effort. I think what the international partners have done, such as the United States and Britain and others, certainly helping with the logistics and the intelligence on the ground. So I think both those things are important. The logistics and the intelligence on the ground to be able to move forward on the military operation in that regard, and certainly the leadership of NGOs like Bring Back Our Girls working with the government. That has helped on the negotiation side, at least, so that we have these girls returning.
In terms of the way it's been a multi-agency approach with governments and NGOs involved in getting these girls back, what more can be done, really, to get the remaining girls that are out there somewhere back home to their parents? Because there are many questions unanswered about how these 82 girls have been released at the moment.
I think that the approach that the government has taken, I think if they stay on course, which I'm sure they will, I think we'll probably see more girls being released. Between January and now, we've had this little bit of lull in the negotiation process or sort of working out some of the kinks. I think that if they continue to do that, then we're likely to see more girls released. Meanwhile, concurrently also cleaning up the operation on the ground.
Well, we shall see what does happen. For the moment, Robin Rennie Sanders joining me from Washington, D.C. Thanks so much for your time.
Pleasure. Pleasure.